Hi everyone, welcome to joining the week 9. So now we are almost past the half of the semester. So I hope you enjoy the current kinds of academic semester and hope you learned a lot from the various courses, including my digital communication course as well. So far, what we have done is to complete the two packages of the Illustrator. One was the mapping part, and the other one was the infography. So now we have one remaining item, that's the program diagram. So hope you learned a lot from this last section of the digital Illustrator section, module 2. So let's get started. So this week, what we want to do is to utilize some of your previous map. So that what we want to make is, let me share the screen. So I just opened the site analysis map. This was what we developed before in Photoshop week 3 as a site analysis. This time we don't need all others item, just we want to utilize a base map that will be utilize our kinds of the base map to make a program diagram. So as an example, what we want to do already by using the Photoshop, we tested to add some pictogram and add the text. But again, as a Photoshop, it's more easier to modify graphic because that's the raster image. But the Illustrator can facilitate using more kinds of vector file by adding the text and pictogram and arrange the graphic more easily. So that's what we want to do throughout the Illustrator this time with our program diagram. So let's use the Photoshop background image. You might have all layers, but I only keep like just clean the background color and hue saturation and even highlight the watercolor. That's just it. So we want to utilize this version and try to make a certain graphic this time. So once you have this image, I also want you to know how to synchronize the Photoshop and Illustrator. So just save that file, save as PSD would be fine or JPEG file would be fine, but let's do use the PSD file directly. If you save that file for me, this is week 9. So this is base map. I do want to save base map as a PSD, that's editable file. The reason why I did this one is now I will utilize Illustrator. So same, the previous map, the mapping and infographic should be based on the 11 by 17 layout. Like that, we also want to make a 11 by 17. That's default if you already made 1711. So please create the layout. So that's the one have. So given this one, if you want to show the rulers that we did before, you go to rulers, show rulers. So those are rulers. And now what I'm gonna do is to, let me show this one first. Like a week 9, if you go to week 9, and what I'm going to do is, it's pretty big size, but don't worry. And let me just drag that PSD file into Illustrator. What I'm gonna do is drag that PSD file into our Illustrator. The size is big, so I do wanna reduce, but don't just randomly reduce the size. You should holding shift so that it should be fixed with the proportion. So in the Photoshop, there was default as a fixed with that proportion, but Illustrator, you should holding shift so that you need to keep these kinds of the one. Let me just do full size as a middle, and that's what we wanna do. Now I do wanna, we can directly start from here, but I do want you to know one function between Photoshop and Illustrator. Once you save this one, I add the PSD file, then let me save our file, save as. Now it should be, let's call program diagram. So I did the save this one, but this is an Illustrator. But now I do want to open Photoshop and like some graphic and even this one. Let's do some work from the Photoshop. Although this is an Illustrator lecture, but I want to cover one more item from here. I do want to add a new layer. Now I do want to add the paint bucket tool, but instead of the direct paint bucket tool, holding left mouse button and use the gradient tool. Then there's the gradient color. You might want to click this one, double click out here. Oops, click. It's already basic, but I do want to select the second one, which means color to there will be disappear as a scene foreground to transparent. I do want to select that one, and oh, I do want to select the color though. Okay, that's the black. So, oh, double click. Here won't. Oops, just a second. Originally it was double click, but it was changed. Let me do it again. So from here, I do want to select the daisy and I do want to change the color. Let me do new gradient default. Oh, sorry. You can just change the color from here, then it will be changed because it was the foreground to transparent. There was a foreground, so directly white color. So now what I'm gonna do is based on the new layer, I'm do wanna it's the this version, but I do wanna change it to first left, holding left mouse button to right side because our we want to keep the this middle part. So even oh do that one as a one, and I do want to holding shift the other side. I do want to add the same one like that. So I did add the gradient color white to the transparent. This is a Photoshop though, but what I want to tell you is once you add something in that PSD file with the same name, because we did add the linked file. So if I save this one, I want to show what happened. Control S, that I save the base map. So PSD. And the Illustrator, it will ask you some pop-up message, some files are missing or modified in the linked panel. The reason is that the file was we dragged the PSD file into the Illustrator. So that's the linked panel. So now we did update so that they asked us about would you like to update them now? Yes, then it will directly responding. See, that's the benefit of the PSD and Illustrator, so it can work together. Instead of the changing everything from the PSD or JPEG, we add that one. You might want to link that file. That's the link. You can have an option if you click that image that has a linked file based map PSD. Should be same name, same location. Then if you close that one, you can find the link location. Or if you embed that file, what happens is that the file size is bigger. You can share the Illustrator file with the embedded image, but it will make a more increased size and it will not be changed after you change the PSD. So its synchronization is linked, is disconnected. So I kind of recommend you use just linked file, but when you submit your final submission, you should embed, which means if you do not embed the image and you just submit the Illustrator file, then I got the certain message that, oh, file is missing so that I cannot open any kinds of your base map. I will, so just at this time, please use the, let me make sure before completing this class, you should embed the image, but so before completing all your PSD work, please just utilize the link. So this is the one, and I do want to crop, and so image back. So box as 11 by 17, select all together, right click and make a clipping mask. So this is our base map that we want to use, and the layer, or that's the I want to fix because that's the background. And I do want to add a new layer. So now let's do the work that we did pretty much similar what we did before, but we want to firstly find some pictogram that we did before, right? So let me use same new folder, Adobe, uh, image stuff. So please go there. Now I do want to find the state capital as a pictogram. Let me add the pictogram. I do remember we use yeah, something like this version. Let's do a little bit simple version this time. Mm, to fill. Yeah, either one that you still can find, but I do want to use this version. Then download, and this time your option should be vector file and download. So if you remember last time, uh, yeah, we already used this before, right? So download it. For me, I do want to save it into our folder, my folder in reality, and open it and select. And I do want to locate that. It's too big, but let me make it smaller here as a pictogram. I do want to locate, but this time I do want to make it white, but outline, I do want to add the orange color. That's the one that I do want to do. So that's the capital, and we do have the river, and let's do find another one. What we can do? This is a river. Oh, capital. Then now I do want to add the line, and we want to add certain text that we want to add. So what I'm gonna do is, let me do this work here. So given this direction, I do want to add the line like this. So add the line, and I do want to increase the line. Then it's time. Let me add the, oops, on this. Oops, that's choose, right? So I do want to make it smaller, like a 20%, 20%. So that's the one line is drawn. Then, of course, we can directly rotate, or let me show that might be better than, let me do, I can do it this way, but let me do another way. You might, again, I do want to add the arrow to be 20%, same 20, uh, So given this one, let me do go to effect 3D and rotate. So that line can be rotate. Let me do manually like that. Uh, it was not perfectly rotate. Should I? Oops. So let me do it again. So original one is this one. Let me redo. Want to rotate. Okay, this is correct. Uh, yeah, around this one, right? So then line could be more longer, right? And this can be longer. Oops. Again, this can be longer. Almost this is what I wanna do. Okay. Yeah. So once you complete, then yeah, you might want to remember this number, but you might want to adjust, then you can easily find which line is better. Now I do want to increase a little bit thickness. So that is responding, right? Given this one, what I do want to do is let me just easily to draw the line instead of using that rotation function because this is much easier. So based on the line, I do just want to follow the line, just draw without the fill. So without that base image, you can actually make it, but just in case as a reference, that could be done, but I do want to delete. And given this one, I do want to add the color. And what I do want to do is in the middle part, I do want to divide. And before make a division, let's do this direction, and that should be another line that I do want to add. And this time, just we can directly add like a 2 or 4, 4. Let me add same. That can be 40%, 40. And let's do draw even this part as well. So if you want to see some reference, what I'm gonna do is this line that I'm gonna add. So you could take a look. And this one, I did a copy the line from here. This is a little bit longer, and this can be also longer. To copy, oops, copy. This can be shorter. This is park to there. Okay. And last one here. So, this is almost there. So given the line and what they do have is now I do want to make this as let me add the going to pen, and there's a way to add anchor. So given that one, in the middle, what they did is add the anchor like this, like that, even add the anchor within that line as this Congress Avenue. Now I do want to delete. Then it should, okay, that's something that I didn't expect, but it's fine. So you might want to, by using by direct selection tool, delete that corner. But what we have to do, still it should be fine. But let's do select left one altogether. Now I do want to make it as a known. Do known. Same way, I do want to select those line and make it left one as a known. Then in the middle part is a for save. So given this line, now I do want you to from here that image, that was the original one, but let me divide that line as well. Let me do paint bucket tool from here, right? So I do just want to draw, because this is a outline as a fill, and this is a line, right? So for this one, what I'm gonna do is let me draw another form. Oh, so I do want to draw another form with a different color just in case. So what I'm gonna do, add the line, and this can go further like that. That's what I can see. So based on those two images, now I do want you to find the pathfinder. Go to pathfinder, and what I wanna do is intersect. Oh no, this one, divide. So use the divide, then you can delete this part, that part. So it's divided based on this area. So 1, 2, 3. So middle one, I do want to change it into, uh, let's, uh, this can be or lighter orange, and this one is green. So we can add that one, and that can be, you can add also certain opacity, like transparent wise, I do want to add 80. And now I do want to add the text. So this should be white color. And just let me follow. Add the line here. Let me do it, sorry. Control C, Control V. Let me do add the text type path. Okay. Instead that one, just I need the line, this line, and then add the text on top of that. So that should be civic states. So we don't need this one text-wise. Again, that's the civic. Let me expand. It should be, I do want to change as a area, and let me do area board. Civic, oh, why it's, okay. Oops. Oh, it's a little bit weird. Okay. Let me do make it smaller as a phone. Okay. Civic stays, and that should be white color. And I do want to locate here. That's the civic stays. And this one. Do copy. I just do copy. And I don't know if that is a bigger okay, how to extend by my bad. Oh, let me do cut instead of copy, let me do draw again. This line, right? And add the text. It should be part of Austin. This time, let me do copy. So this is a green gateway and add it as a white. Same, that should be make it white. And the text. So like that, we made it one of the text. Um, or uh, so if you also want to add the other line as an outline, then you might want to select all together by holding Shift or Control. Select all. Go to Object Expand Appearance, then Object Expand. Then say yes. Now this is a fill like before we did. So like that, then we could do outline and here add with the white color. So, or this can be orange color if you want. So by do, you can, yeah, make a line like that version. But if you don't need, I feel this version would be fine. I don't care if you just make it like that. So given this one, let's complete a little bit further. So now we want to add certain further information. Here it was hide it. Then let me add the new layer. So with a green color, I do just want to add boundary. It could not be the perfect, but I do want to add the boundary and the other one too. Here, find the areas and add the boundary. And last one, is that here? Yeah, looks like this one. So just add that boundary and I do want to make it as a transparent a little bit. And same, we want to add the text that can be wood width, it's clear, and that can be text-wise middle. And if you remember, we just want to reduce that space and size can be a little bit smaller. again further, and there can be green color. So add the other one. This is a Republic scale. And the last one, this could be, it says rush scale. So this is all just default. Let's do add text that should be no. Let me add the last one, late, bird, late, right? And that can be make it white and increase the font size together with this one. So, oh, this is a basic what we did. Then I do want you to open the earlier one. Let's check. Mapping example 2. Let's see how it looks like. Mapping example 2 and infographic as well. Is that the one? Okay, so in the infographic, we didn't add that text, but here we have the mapping one. When you have to do submit is 1, 2, then we do want to complete our version for this. It's not complete yet, but I do want to copy this text to uh, the same location. So when you do want to copy Control C, and if you do add that as a Control V, that is not located in the exact same location. So in such case, Control C, then you should do Control F. Then it will be located on top or same place. So this is a Congress Avenue, but let's the title. And so previous one is actually we didn't add that title, but here we could say program diagram. So depending on the background color, if that is too dark or too white, you might want to adjust. In my case, I do want to make this is a little bit strong, yeah, darker color. So that is more visible. And now we want to add certain images like this version that we want to do as a final. So I do want to find some image because we already have those image areas. And in the mapping, we did a state capital 3 images before, right? But now we want to show certain those park image with the capital and the other. So let's do capital state Austin. You can find a certain image in the Google or the other search engine. I do want to find, and what I did before is right click, copy image, and that can be Control V. But let me do it again. So that should be located in the new layer. I didn't make a name, but layer 2 is line, and this is a park, and this is a image that we want to add. So given that image you might want to add, but what we want to do before doing that, if you see the earlier example, here there are a couple of the images located like that, right? So we want to do similar way. I do want to use the circle, go to ellipse. Here, I do want to add one image. So you might want to set certain graphic. It could be circle or the other form would be fine. But if you want to do, this could be bigger and smaller. So it can show some rhythm together, right? And it can be a little bit bigger. So smaller to bigger, but they can give more kinds of rhythm and even though bottom part is more bigger. So anyway, that's the one way that you could do. So I do want to utilize this image. Again, that should be down. So arrange to send back, make a boundary, and select both two, and make a clipping mask. So that's one. Let's find all images and let's do complete. Now there's no right rule, just you can use certain images, Austin, Lady Bird Lake. If you find a certain image as a practice, that can be locate. And now I do want to locate, arrange back. So make clipping mask. And what else that I want to find is Austin downtown. If that's the one you want to show, why not? Then you can find the image same way. Take arrange back. Select make the clipping mask. And now what else that we want to find further, like if that brush scale, Austin. This time, yeah, sometimes there could be, this might be better if you go to, what's the one? Austin Congress SWA, SWA. From this website, let's use some of the images from rendering. That might be also another good. So like this one, right click, copy image. This time, let me copy. But of course, we should put the correct credit. Send back. Make clipping mask. And let me bring another one. Because it's not designed by us, so that's the reason I do use some of the images like this version. But of course, when we have our design, then why not? We could show our design that might be better and more clear. So, but here, as an example, I do want you to learn. And given that one, you might want to also find some text, and you can bring. So even it says, let me add rectangle box, bottom one, text-wise. I do want to add the original text. It can be just narrow, but I do want to add credit-wise, it should be sasaki.com. And another text, let's see. Let me find better the other graphic. Let me to use this image instead of this one. So I do want to release clipping mask, delete, but line should be there. So I do want to add the color. This image can be add. Arrange back. Make clipping mask. And I do also want to add the text. This text can be copied. uh, the text says here. Let me copy the text here. Yeah, add that one, but boundary-wise, the image, it's better to add the outline. So using this direct selection tool, click the outline of the circle, go to circle one. There's no line color. I do want to add the line color. Why could be just default, but you can use that one, or I do want to add the orange color. That would work as well. Yep. So that is too thick, then make it 3. So this is all, okay, this is still make a, I do fill orange. It's not, then I do want to let you know another one. From here, what you can do is 2 versions. You can do add the go to effect stylize. You can add the drop shadow. So that's what you can typically see as a shadow, but sometimes it looks a little bit dark and not very clear. So in such case, I do want you to go to, we want to add the outline as a back. So given that purpose, go to here. So graphic appearance, click the appearance or window and find the appearance. Right click, add new stroke. Then that should be get it down. So locate that stroke down and then change it to, I do want to change it into white. Oops. Appearance, this color can be white. Again, this is not located in bottom. Because it's not located bottom, it will kinds of influence inside of that color. I do want to keep our font style, so it should be down below than character. See, then font size is keep, but it can be background wise. We could add the white line. So that's what we could make it a little bit clearer. Okay, so once you finish this one, you might want to save as a Illustrator, and I do want you to save as a JPEG. So let's do file, save as copy, and please do, sorry, I do want you to file, save as, oh, file export, sorry, export as, this is layout wise. We use the artboard, so program diagram, export, yes, okay. Then you could have Week9 program diagram as a JPEG. So when you should submit as a 3 images as a JPEG, one as a program diagram and mapping, JPEG same, you should do file, export, export as, and it should be JPEG. Then you should submit as a Week7, that should be mapping. Then you should save as an export with your name. Same infographic, go to save as, sorry, file, export, export as JPEG infographic. I do believe that's already saved before, but you should save those 3 and you should submit those 3 JPEG file to Canvas. And as an editable file, I ask you to submit the Illustrator as an AI file. But typically, when you submit the AI file without adding embedded one, I cannot see any of your image. So my recommendation is I do want to change a little bit our rubric. So please in the Google Drive, please save as this one as a all PDF. Then I could open it as a PDF file. So that's what I want to suggest. And even PDF file can be open throughout the Illustrator. So please submit the JPEG file to Canvas and please submit the PDF file to Google Drive. So I do want to announce more clearly, but those are our assignment and your submission due is October 31. So hope you enjoy this class and see you next week. Thank you.